Hello everyone, and welcome back for more Terraria Hardcore Challenge. So as you can see right here, we're doing the Sky Dragon, the little mini-boss, trying to get Souls of Flight. I've already collected a few, but I just need a little bit more, and we'll go ahead and craft some wings. Now, off-screen I went ahead and got all the way up to adamantite ore. It was pretty awesome. So now that we've gotten that, we're so close to fighting the Destroyer, it's not even funny. So in the meantime, let me say that this video is once again being edited in post. Rather, I should say this is being put audio in post, as things were busy around the house and I didn't have time to record the commentary, so it is what it is. Apologies for having this video out late. It was supposed to go out yesterday, but with people around, I just didn't have time to record. Anyway, as you can see, we've gotten set up pretty well. I was very fortunate that one of the Crimson Caves had a ton of altars, so I was able to smash those and collect a lot of adamantite ore around the world. And it took a while. It was a process. I didn't want to record it all, so we just went ahead and skipped over it. Because, you know, I mean, there probably would have been at least 5 or 6 episodes right there, and that would have been boring. Who wants to sit back and watch a bunch of mining for 5 or 6 episodes? I know certainly not me, so for the sake of sparing everyone the boringness, here we are. But for the most part, we've gotten wings now. Very nice. Killed an ice giant, got his ice feather. Now with all the Souls of Flight, we got wings. Nice shiny blue wings. And that leaves us right around to the part where we can go ahead and get ready for the Destroyer. Now I've already gotten some potions. I'm going to go ahead and try to get more if I can, because you're going to need a lot of potions with the freaking Destroyer. Fast forwarded just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and use my little arena over there to fight the Destroyer. Now the reason why I've used the planks instead of just like solid blocks is because, well, my attacks are going to go through the actual things in general. His attacks will go through too, but at the same time, I really need to have that efficiency there. Being melee, you need to have, well, the Tao of Pow, you need to have as much as a chance to keep whacking him as you can. And he is very annoying. I totally forgot. It's been a while since I fought him, so I totally forgot how much of a pain he is when you first fight him. I probably should have did a test warm-up with another character. Alright, so I've already got the piece to summon him. Let's go ahead and do this. The arena is very helpful in this regard because at least I can stay up from him, you know? I got a nice little area. But of course, he can still burrow up through it. The one thing I didn't really care about this first try was that I didn't get physical enough. And that's the thing with melee compared to other classes, is that you really got to get physical with this guy. You got to be like right on top of him. Because if you take damage with him like this, it's going to be harder. And let me just say, be prepared for an epic show, because this takes a while. It really does. And yeah, I totally remembered why I hate fighting the Destroyer first. I think he's probably more challenging of the 3. Doing that leap in the boss hard mode is quite a challenge. Not just for physical reasons, but, you know, it's all about being able to dodge better as well. Yep, try to stay away from that death loop at all possible. The good thing about this whole platform deal is that when he does the death loop, there is some kind of small wiggle room you can do in there with it, so you're not going to get totally stuck, but you just got to be very mindful where he's at all times. Looking back at this, I really should have did more. The cross necklace gave me the 4-second invulnerability. I probably could have done a lot more damage with him here than I really could have. If you've seen my Terraria 1.2 walkthrough series, I actually stood on top of him with the sword and whacked the living hell out of him. Now, the Tao of Pow was recommended by several places. I never tried it, so I figured, you know, what the hey, we might as well try it and see what it's like. I really can't say much for it. I mean, it does do nice damage. Oh, and by the way, for those who didn't know, if you get hit by the Destroyer's head, it actually does more damage than the rest of the body, so go figure. Found that one out the hard way. So, gotta be very mindful of that as well. Yeah, that would have been the best part, would have been to stand right on top of him and actually just wail on him with the Tao of Pow. Not only would it have been better just to stay on top for damage, but also it would have kept the 4-second invulnerability going, and I probably would have saved myself in the long run. This battle itself is very long, very intense, and very nail-biting, I have to admit. This one had me on the edge of my seat as I was doing it. It was probably a good thing that I was able to get what I could before without doing any real vocals. And yes, I just missed that attack right there. I was able to sneak underneath him. He put up such a fight, and this is the whole thing I did wrong with this, was that I did not stick on him. There's a point with the Destroyer you have to kind of like duck and dodge. This really wasn't the point. I still have plenty enough health as I sit here and critique my own fight that I probably should have got on top of him and did more. As you can see, I haven't done much damage to him. He's, what, around 50,000 hit points? So I only dropped about 30. Actually, it may not even be that much. It may be around 60. But still, there was too much jumping around and dodging. And I don't even think I had the proper equipment on at the time, really. So that was a bit of a problem. And of course, I don't even stay in my own arena. Try to keep him busy, trying to keep him not in the same spot. Of course, health becomes a major issue through this whole fight. This is why I've always hated the Destroyer, because I always wind up losing a lot of health. He's just such a pain. I don't think the lasers do much damage as to compared to the body, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe the body doesn't do as much damage compared to the lasers. Either way, it just seems like you're better off just staying on top of him and dealing damage. It's kind of like a two-edged sword. It's like a broad-edged double sword. You gotta stay on top of him for damage, but at the same time, he's gonna do some serious damage to you. Just a good reason why the Philosopher's Stone tends to help a lot. But for this first battle, I don't think I really had it equipped. I really can't even remember. Chances are, if you fast forward back, you could probably see me open the menu and probably see that I didn't. And yeah, if you look at that health right now, that is not looking too great. Oh man, he gave me a run for my money on this. He really did. I've always had issues dying to the Destroyer in the past, so the fact that I was down to this far, and look at that, look how much health. It's like 3 or 4 hit points right now. The fact that I was able to actually stay alive at this point just amazed me. Even the hair on the back of my freaking neck was standing up at that point. And thankfully the potion was able to kick in just in time for that. This was such an intense battle. This really was an epic part. What makes it worse is all them damn little bots come out and they keep shooting lasers at you. Doesn't help that the Destroyer already does that himself. Once again, there we go, right back down to the low health again. And still trying to fight to stay alive. This battle for me is going to be truly... It truly goes down as one of the most epic right here. Just hanging on for dear life. It gets to the point, and I think this is where the fight really just kind of goes downhill, is where you're fighting to stay alive and you're not even doing damage. You're just trying to stay alive. And that's kind of what you're seeing right now. Is that so agony way of not dying. We've got, what, 12 hit points right about now, roughly? Potion should be coming up soon. There we go. Holy crap. And of course it doesn't help we got freaking werewolves down in the bottom there as well. Them buggers are very annoying. Very annoying indeed. It looks like the Destroyer's roughly at half health at this point. So you get to that point, you got that sense of urgency, the night's getting close to being over. You've got health issues, and then you've got the Destroyer just constantly up in your face, all up in your business, not letting you do a damn thing. Again, well, there we go in a death loop. But fortunately, we can go ahead and get out of that because of the size of the area. And here we come again. So it looks like, what, we got around 40,000. Yeah, so that's roughly around half. Kind of very disappointed in this part because it could have been a lot more easy. Then again, what are you going to do? I should have just really did more damage with him, and that's kind of sucky part. Hindsight is always 20/20. But hey, I gotta get one thing. You gotta admit, sticking alive as long as I did in this was quite crazy. Crazy to say the least. It's just like the night you don't do your homework, and you wait till the last freaking minute when you go to school, and you're just like, oh, maybe I hurry up and do the homework, and you're just like basically in the class before trying to do your homework. Yeah, I remember those days. Do not miss them whatsoever, but I remember them. Trying to hurry up and get the homework done. And of course, there was plenty of times the homework didn't get done. But you know what? It is what it is. Like right about now... Jeez. Down to 3 bloody hearts. Hanging on for dear life. Trying not to die. It is so freaking tense. It's not even funny. This whole battle... Basically... The second half of the battle in the night was really had me on the edge of my seat because I did not want to go back down to 1 hit point. That was ludicrous. Just playing like that was just sheer crap. You can't play defensive against this guy. I think if I would have had more damage on my character or more defense, either one probably would have helped, but my accessories weren't properly reforged, so I didn't get the most optimal performance. And it seems like now we get more damage done to him as it gets closer and closer to morning. But that's not the appropriate time to have it all come out. No, it's not. I think the biggest thing with the Destroyer now is ever since they cut back the heart drop rates from the probes, that made a big difference in the battle. If they would have left that alone, I think things would have been a little bit easier. And once again, there we go, right back down to the wire again. And then the Destroyer got away. So, yeah, all the epic fighting just so the Destroyer can leave by morning, and we've gotten maybe 1 heart of health. Talk about intense. We'll go back, we'll get healed up, and then we'll get ready. Because we're going to do it again with a blood moon. Hooray! Hooray for blood moonage. This right here, I don't even know why we got a blood moon, but I probably should have waited on that regard. And of course I get hit by the head, which does a ton of damage. Now, I'll say right off the bat, the one thing I did wrong, I put on my charm so that way I can get less time for using potions, but the problem was I took off my shield, and that's why I'm hopping around right now. So, the one thing that's going to kill this is the fact that I'm going to go ahead and switch off my accessories here relatively soon. Other than that, I think I did a pretty good start for doing damage to the Destroyer right here. The one thing I would say is when you fight him like this, try to keep the probes minimized. If you get like 4 or 5 probes on screen, stop touching him, stop fighting him, focus down the probes, focus on your health, and then go from there. The one thing I did not do right, as I sit here and continue to critique my own battle. Once again, health goes down relatively low, potions used up for the time being, there's 2 hearts, there's 1.5 hearts, trying to dodge all these buggers. And there we go, there's another potion. So I'm trying to swap out my accessories. Rather ridiculous. You'll see me take off my boots just so I can go ahead and do this. Really ridiculous. There's really no reason. Now, the one thing I did wrong here is I should have never jumped in here with him like that. I was too low health. I'd say you want to go in with at least a full row of hearts, maybe a full row and a half, just in case. I sacrificed way too much health there. There's no real reason for it. Then again, after last time's draw, I didn't want to go through that again. And of course, there we go, get a little bit more in there. I don't know why I stood on him at that time. There was no reason to stand on him like that. Fortunately, the potion kicked in, get hit by the head again, take a bunch more damage, but we're really lighting him up right here as we stand on top of him. If you're melee, that's what you gotta do. You gotta stand on top of him. You gotta have a lot of defense, and you gotta be prepared. Right now, there we go, back down to 1 heart, and it's done. That's right, it's done. It's all over, said and done. We're slain. I stood way too much in the Destroyer at one point. It just didn't work out. If I could go back and redo one thing, I'd watch my health, I'd focus on the probes, I'd wait till a potion kicks in, then I would go back and do it. But I mean, we had fun. Thanks for watching the Terraria Hardcore Challenge. This is going to be my last character. Went so far with so many. Well, we went so far with this one after going so short with so many that we're going to wrap it up. Look, I got to the point where we got into hard mode. We fought the Destroyer. We could go back and do it all again, but you know, it's going to take some time and... well, it was a fun run. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And you know what? If you really enjoyed this, be sure to check out our other Terraria series as well. We have Terraria Magical Mayhem, we have Terraria Walkthrough, which is the 1.2 variety. We have Terraria Ranger Danger, so if you enjoyed all those, you know what? Go back, check them out, watch those and let me know what you think. And if you've already watched them all, keep your eyes open for more Terraria series as well. Hopefully 1.3 comes out soon, and we can go